Hello everybody, Toreno here, and today we're going to take a look at the new US battleship, the USS Nevada, or Nevada, which has been introduced in the Sky Guardians update. Now, if we look at the tech tree itself, it is the same battle rating as the USS Wyoming and the USS Arizona, and it is placed in between them. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised why the Wyoming is a 6.7, considering the Nevada and Arizona have much better main battery guns, but there we go. For whatever reason, that is a 6.7. And moving on from the Wyoming, the Nevada itself seems to be more of a side upgrade to the Arizona, or the Arizona's more of a side upgrade to the Nevada, because basically the Nevada has a worse main battery. I mean, it's not bad, it has the same guns as the Arizona, but it only has 10 of them, which are in 2 triple mounts and 2 twin mounts, whereas the Arizona has 12 14-inch guns in 4 triple mounts. Now, where the Nevada is far superior in my opinion is the anti-air armament. So, you've got 16 5-inch guns in 8 twin mounts, which is a little less than the Arizona, but the Arizona's, which I think has about 20, but the Arizona doesn't have anti-air ammunition for its 5-inch guns, and they are of course in unprotected weapon mounts. And talking of anti-air ammunition, the 5-inch mounts of course get the very good HEVT shells, which are excellent anti-air weapons. And moving on from the higher caliber anti-air weapons, we then have a whole bunch of Bofors, which equals 32 Bofors guns. And again, they are going to be putting out a hell of a lot of firepower. And then, not as importantly, but you know, it does help a little bit, is the Oerlikon cannons, of which there are 40 of them. These are 20mm guns. They're not going to be as important because of course they're going to have shorter range. And because they have shorter range, that means enemy aircraft may get in range to launch their weapons. You may still get the enemy while they're on the way out, but that's obviously not going to be a great help to you if their missile, bomb or torpedo subsequently kills you. Armour is broadly the same as the Arizona. I believe the Citadel armour on the deck is slightly inferior to the Arizona, 114 versus, I think it's like 121, something like that. Yeah, okay, it shows up as 107, but 121 on the stats card, unless I am looking at the wrong thing here. Okay, no, Nevada does have superior deck armour, it just doesn't say on the stats card, unless it's something underneath, but I don't believe it is. I can't see anything underneath, except for these things. And speed unupgraded is slightly worse for the Nevada, 19.7 miles per hour versus 20.4 for the Arizona, so slightly slower, but not massively so. And the crew complement is again a little bit lower than the Arizona, 1374 versus 1390, which again I'm not entirely sure makes sense because of course you have a lot more anti-air guns, which I would have thought need a lot more crew, but obviously for whatever reason you actually need less crew. I assume they've been reassigned from other duties. And if you look a little bit more in depth at the main armament, you can see a bit of an advantage in the shell rooms. For example, they only carry 60 shells in the turrets, and a whole lot of shells in the shell rooms, of course. But if you go to Arizona, you can see, of course, you've got the shell rooms, but they carry 300 shells in their shell rooms directly beneath the guns. Which means, obviously, you're always going to have a plentiful supply of ammunition, but in the Nevada, because you've got less shells, you've got less chance of there being an ammunition explosion in the event that the turret has been destroyed, which, you know, stops you going the way of the Arizona in real life. So, basically, overall, I personally consider this an upgrade to the Arizona. Of course, like I say, the main armament is a bit worse. Of course, the battleship's main goal is going against enemy ships. But of course, many of the high-tier American battleships just don't have much in the way of anti-air armament. So, I do consider the Nevada to be slightly superior, personally. Because, of course, the other American battleships are just sitting ducks for enemy aircraft. Here, you are sacrificing a bit of main firepower, but you can at least take out the enemy aircraft, unlike the other battleships. I mean, again, look at Arizona. 5-inch guns, doesn't really carry much in the way of anti-air armament for most of them. And then its anti-air armament consists of 50 cals, which are and only 8 of them for the whole ship. So, yeah, personally, I would take the Nevada any day of the week over the Arizona or the Wyoming, to be honest. But yeah, I think this will be a very welcome addition to the American tech tree, and I do hope we start seeing more of the modern US battleships like the North Carolinas and South Dakotas. And I would like to see the Iowas, but I don't think we're going to get them for a long time. But yeah, like I say, I think this is a very welcome addition to the US naval tech tree. Anyway, just a quick video for today. I've been Toreno, and I'll see you next time.